So over the last few months on Instagram and YouTube, people have been asking me about how I make my travel videos, my Gadget John on tour videos. So I took a note of all the questions I was being asked and broke it down into 4 different sections. The gear, number 1, this video. The second is going to be all about how to use the gear, how to get those shots. The third one is going to be how to edit, manage the files, that kind of thing. And then the fourth one is YouTube, uploading, the best settings, and managing your YouTube account generally. So one thing I want to get out of the way straight away is, yes, we're in the studio. 2 reasons. Number 1, I'm waiting for parts to fix my van, and those parts are related to the heater and wiring, so they're all like in bits right now. And number 2, related to number 1, it's -2 and it's snowing outside. There's no heating in the van. I'm not going outside right now. I'm going to stay here where it's nice and cozy and warm. Anyway, back to this video. Yeah, I'm making a video because people ask me questions, but please don't assume I'm going to tell you the answer to everything. I don't know everything. I learn just like everyone else does as I go every day. Life is a learning process. However, what I'm about to explain hopefully will explain to people my way of doing things, and if they perceive that to be something they can learn from, then that's great. So, as I said, episode 1, it's all about the gear. This is my travel gear. Let's ignore all this other gear that would need another van to come along with you and a big power station. Let's just talk about the travel gear that I take away when I go traveling. So the first thing we're going to talk about is the phone that we carry with us all the time. And the reason why, obviously, I'm going to start with this one is because it's probably the first thing you reach for in your pocket to take a picture of something or to start videoing if you see something straight away. In fact, it might be the only thing that you start to video with, because it might be the only thing that you've got to video with. I'm going to point out something that might not be so obvious to you now, but whatever you do, don't use the front-facing camera. Only ever use the back camera. You're going to look at me and go, that is my right eye, but on there it's my left eye. That's my left eye, and on there it's my right eye. Which means that when people are watching your videos, everything's the wrong way round. You're going to upload it the wrong way around. So you'll be driving down the road and you'll appear to be the driver, even though you're actually the passenger. And it's that kind of confusion that is the first reason why you shouldn't use that mode. I know it's great to see yourself while you're doing it, and that way you can't, but you kind of can if you get used to it. You can see your reflection in the actual camera itself. Get used to it that way. And the other thing is, that front camera up there, that's rubbish. The back camera there, if your phone's like, newer than 4 or 5 years old, that back camera is fantastic. So yeah, all of my gear is around about £400 limit, apart from the phone and the drone. And that's simply because over the years I've been biting it. £400 about the most I'd want to spend on something that I'm going to take outside, potentially drop, get near sand, water, that kind of thing. Maybe it gets nicked. So £400 is my kind of limit on that. Yes, I do use an actual camera. This is a Panasonic Lumix DMC LX15. If you're not in Europe, it might be called the LX10. Its direct kind of like competitor is the Sony RX100 Mark IV, Mark V, Mark VI, because it does that. It's got a 1.4 aperture lens on there, shoots in 4K, and it's a really good pocket-sized camera. The Sony comes in around about £1,000. This one is $399, and this one I absolutely love. Ultra crispy clear 4K. It's great with the f1.4 lens on there. It's got a little bit of a zoom on it too. It's great because the screen tilts and everything at the back, so you can see what you're doing. Plus you can flip it that way and turn it into kind of selfie mode. Like I say, I'm not going to go into every shot of how I'd use this and the way that I use it, and that's going to be the next video along, because that video is going to be more about the cameras rather than all this gear. So it's going to be easier to explain about each camera and give examples. Then we're going to talk about the GoPro Hero 7 Black. I got this when I was in America. It just came out, so I got it nice and cheap over there. Then when I came over here, I bought another one and sold all my other GoPro gear. So a couple of reasons why I use the GoPro is I have this little cage that goes in the front of the van, that slots in there, and it allows me to have these little filters on the front. I can use ND filters, or this one is a polarizing filter to take away reflections from the windscreen as much as it can anyway. So it makes it clearer to see out the window. Looks like the camera's actually outside of the glass. So I love that one for that bit. And I've also got the Karma grip as well, so I can put it in there and use a gimbal for doing some sort of like walk-through shots, make sure it's get stable footage and things like that. Or if I'm walking around with it, I can pop it in there. It charges the camera while I'm using it. Another good accessory is this wind muff, just pops around it. Still have access to your buttons, you can see the screen on the back, but that cuts about 80 to 90% of moderate wind noise out to make sure your audio really stays quite clear. You'll also notice I've used 360 cameras, and specifically, well, the GoPro Fusion 360 and the Insta1X, or the Insta 360 1X, its full title. And this is the one that I stick to now. This is by far the superior camera. So the Insta 360 1X is the 360 camera I use, and you've seen the kind of shots I get with that. They're absolutely fantastic. And there's a new camera that I've been using quite recently, which is the Osmo Pocket. Now the Osmo Pocket comes with some clever little tools. It itself is a fantastic little camera, great in low light, good in daylight, offers great depth of field when you need it and things like that. The microphones on it are really good if you're using it up close. It's got some great little features and things like that on it as well. 2 buttons, easy operation, records in 4K, records slow-mo, and it stabilizes your shot, it steadies everything out. Takes good pictures as well. That is a really good second kind of like favorite of all my camera gear right now. Really do love it. You've always got to have a GoPro because you can use a GoPro inside, outside, in the weather, in the pool, in the rain, on the outside of your van, on the inside of the van, all that kind of stuff. You can't use this in all those places. So I think the GoPro still is king of universal cameras that give great results. However, for everything else, when it's not raining, when you're not underwater, when you're not trying to put it on the outside of a vehicle and stuff like that, I would highly recommend the Osmo Pocket. Now obviously there are loads more accessories that I do use, but again I'm going to go into those with more detail in the next video, which is about getting that shot and how to get certain shots with certain cameras. However, in this one, obviously we're still talking about the main gear, so I kind of like can't forget about one of the really big cameras that I've got. It's a little bit more than a £400 though. It's the DJI Mavic Air, my drone. Essentially though, you don't have to spend that much money. I got it because I already had the other drones and I sold it to buy this one, so it didn't really cost me that much, if you get me. But if you were to go out and buy the equivalent of this right now, the DJI Spark, that's about £400. It offers almost the same flying experience and everything that this drone does. It just does it in HD rather than this is 4K. But yeah, such a fantastic way of getting amazing shots into your video, that I think if you can afford it, yeah, go and get a drone. Like I said before, another part of gear is not about essentially always capturing the best 4K HDR images, whatever. It's about capturing great audio as well. Using something like this, the Zoom H1, just talking into it, that's fine. It's a stereo mic. Or plug in an external mic into it and then have this be somewhere close by. That'll capture good audio. Or another solution is just want to get these little lavalier mics. You can connect it into the Zoom recorder, or you can even, if you get one of these special little connectors, convert an old smartphone into a recorder for this and just use the smartphone recorder app and use it that way. But we will talk about another accessory here, quite an important accessory, and that is like a gimbal for your smartphone. So you may not have the money to go and buy all this extra equipment, but like I've said, you've got a 4 or 5 year old or newer smartphone that's got a really good camera on the back. So why not use a smartphone gimbal? They're all roughly the same price now, around about the £100 mark. This is the DJI Osmo Mobile 2. In my opinion, it's the best out there. However, in this video, I'm giving this one away. And at the end of this series, I'm going to pick a winner, and you're going to get this sent to you. Obviously, usual rules apply. Be a subscriber, like all my videos, comment on all my videos, and you'll be in a chance to win it when I get to the end of this series. And what we're talking about now is backpacks, really. This is my backpack. Absolutely love it. Fits everything in there. Believe it or not, I can get laptop, iPad, all this gear you're looking at now, and my drone and everything, all in there. And that's all I need. It's something I can carry around all day if I wanted to. It gets a bit heavy, but I can fit everything in there. So really good backpack, but it's great for holidays. Got hidden pouches in there for going away, putting your passports in. And the straps have got little hidden pouches in them and things like that as well, little zip straps and everything. So yeah, quite happy with that one. If I'm going out for the day though, I use a different backpack, and that's more of a side kind of like pouch bag or something. And that'll take a couple of cameras, some tripods, the small monopod tripods I have, some batteries, and you know, I can put a drink in there, memory cards, stuff like that, and that's great, and that is really relatively cheap. But if I'm just going out for the day, or you know, an afternoon walking or something, that'll help me carry everything I need to in there. So that really breaks down the gear that I use. On top of this, like I say, there are lighting things as well. A couple of really good lights that I use. One is a Lume Cube, and this one's fantastic. You might have seen it in some videos where it just lights up a night scene. This will light up like an entire field for about half a mile, so everyone can see what's going on. Lasts around about 45 minutes on the charge, but it is more of a spotlight kind of you know, pattern to it. Whereas this one's great if you're using it inside the van at night and you just want a little bit of extra light on, you know, me or Mandy or whatever we're trying to film. This will clip on top of a normal camera, or you can just handheld it, put it on a tripod, and that one gives out a nice soft light. It's adjustable, and it's just a matter of lighting up the subject a bit better in low light, and they're great. That one again lasts around 45 minutes. That one's about £20. That one was £100, but that was quite a few years ago now. So that's lasted quite a good time. That one's indoor use only. That one you can dunk underwater and everything. This series will probably run for about 2 months, just because of my commitments in between recording this and everything else. So yeah, it will be easily seen. There'll be a playlist for it as well. So just keep an eye out for that. And don't forget, you got to be in it to win it. If you do want that, it will produce some great shots for your videos and stuff like that, but it's cool fun as well. So if you do want it, it does work on iOS, so iPhone and Android phones. And yeah, in it to win it. Subscribe, like, comment, and it could be yours. So thanks for watching today. Hope you got all that. If you have any questions about it, there is a link in the video description down below that takes you to a page on my website. It says, how do I make my films? And that should explain everything I've gone over today. In very basic details, but it lists things as well, so you can see everything that I use and you can see how much it is and where to buy it from. And if you've got anything else you want to ask about more specifically, just use the comment section down below and I'll do my best to answer you. So you take care, and I'll see you again. Bye.